It's one thing to survive or thrive in a country facing tough economic times. It's a different challenge when the situation in that country is made more complex by an entrenched and systemic corruption. Nigerians can't wait for better times, but while we wait, how do we survive and thrive? This is the Coach Theater. We intend to share tips on how to survive or thrive in tough economic times. I'm the coach. With me in the studio are 3 survivalists. Brother Coyote, Miss Tina, and Ernest. Welcome.
Thank you.
Straight away, Brother Coyote, give us tips on how to thrive in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you, Coach. First and foremost, I would like our fellow Nigerians to know there's no templates to flourishing, because what works for one person can be devastating for another. Blessed are those that put their trust in the Lord. Those are the people that will flourish. Yes.
Mr. Gary, do you really understand the question? The question is, how do you thrive in Nigeria?
Okay, Ernest, can you give us your take?
Make enough money and live for the less corrupt country as soon as possible. Blessed are those who do not put their trust, their hope in country Nigeria, for they shall not be disappointed.
So you now, do you understand this question? Do you?
What's wrong with my response? I don't understand. Coach, please, can you come again with a question?
Okay, let me rephrase. How do you thrive in a society like we have it today?
Thank you. You see, we are living in a corrupt system whereby the decent people are left with 2 options to choose. Either you conform or you are crushed. For me, I don't want to be any of this. The best thing to do is to what? Leave the country.
Okay, that's your take. Miss Tina.
Coach.
You are the only woman in our midst. A popular Nigerian entertainer once said, women are more likely to attract wealth. We've also observed that in certain sectors, in certain industries, like the Nollywood, the women tend to have it better than their male counterparts. Could that be a secret to thriving as a woman?
Coach, we women are naturally wired to think, act, and innovate. Okay. And when we have the ability to see things that others don't see, and to do things that what others won't do. Is there something funny with what I've said?
Obviously. Everybody knows the secret of a thriving woman.
Really?
Yes. Just invest in cosmetic business, accessory, clothing, and learn the coy body language.
What men like you don't seem to understand is that an attractive woman can also get a lot. It's the same way a charismatic male executive leverages good hair and his 6 foot height as an advantage. I came here today with the intention of giving you an insight on the innate capacity of a woman and how to use this knowledge to help men out there cultivate new set of skills that will help you thrive in Nigeria. But your seeming disrespect for women, I think I will just limit my discussion to basic tips on surviving in Nigeria, Coach.
Please, Tina, for the benefit of the audience.
Please, just respect my decision, please.
Okay, I trust you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, give us the tips.
Okay. So first off, to survive and thrive in Nigeria, we need to learn, be it in politics, employment, religion, whatever it is, it is required that we learn the unwritten rules. Every system has 2 sets of rules, the official rule and the unwritten or unspoken rule. The official rules are found in policy manuals, while the unwritten rules are secret codes that are never spoken of but are very key to success. Learn these rules early on and take advantage of them.
These unwritten rules sound like corruption to me.
There's more to the unwritten rules than the corrupt mind says.
Okay, but these unwritten rules, how do we take advantage of a prior knowledge of it and to take advantage of that?
Well, one application is code switching.
Okay.
This involves the adjustment of one appearance, your style of speech, your behavior, and expression in ways that will help optimize the comfort of others in exchange for fair treatment, quality services, and employment opportunities.
Wow. Now I understand. So this is the main reason why politicians leave their armored car, their bulletproof car, riding on bicycle, visiting markets, eating corn, roasted plantain, deceiving the masses, claiming to be like the grassroots people too. Wow.
And these same Nigerians, after wonderful citizens, we still fall prey.
Well, that's true. But now, can you give us one more example?
Okay. So there are organizations, some of them multinationals, who assign only single men to certain roles in specified locations because male executives don't want to deal with a woman. And of course, these organizations are trying to avoid paying to move a family. There are also organizations where the prestige of the executive is solely enhanced by how gorgeous his assistant is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Give us another tip.
Okay. So, pay attention to events and try to identify patterns that could predict the next event. These patterns could be in private sector, could be in the government, could be in your surroundings. Your ability to perceive meaningful connection between unrelated things is an advantage.
Okay.
Nigeria has suffered several economic storms recently. The removal of subsidies in petroleum, electricity, and exchange rates. And other storms are coming, driven by the reform of this current government.
Yeah.
So take advantage now.
Sorry, no, I don't understand.
Okay. So I'll give you some advice. Notice this. Anytime this current government, confirms or denies the existence of subsidy in any sector, know that a storm is brewing. The Governors Forum recently stated that the electricity subsidy only benefits a small fraction of customers connected to the national grid. Know these rules early on. Take advantage of them now. Oh, and be on the lookout for subsidy policies on education and agriculture.
Okay, so if I may ask, like my previous question,
Yeah.
how will the masses take advantage of a prior knowledge of government's intention on something like subsidy removal?
So, Coach, we know that subsidy removal results in increased prices. In scenarios like this, you protect your finances by investing in assets that perform well during inflation.
Okay.
During inflation, such as commodities, you review your spending, you pay off high interest debts, you open high yield savings accounts,
Okay.
and you also consider real estate. Although inflation rate currently stands close to 30%, but Treasury bill is still a good deal, yielding slightly over 20%.
That's really interesting.
Wow, this is serious. Where would the poor masses have money to achieve all this?
This man, you complain a lot. You haven't even added any contribution, one single contribution to this matter. Complain.
That is because I'm not thriving. I'm surviving. I survive.
So how do you even do this?
Okay, it's very simple. Every 1 naira I spend counts. I read the do's and the don'ts, the terms and conditions of every 1 naira I spend. So let's say data subscription, for example, 1,000 naira for 1.2 gig, and whenever I have 2,000 naira data budget, I split it into two and spend 1,000 naira in a day one. Then the other day I spend 1,000 naira again. My main purpose is not to spend the 2,000 naira at a go. When you spend your 2,000 naira at a go, you will not get your full value of your money. But when you split it, and you will get your full value of your money. Stay, for instance, on the area of banking to avoid unnecessary debits, unnecessary charges from your bank. Make sure whenever you want to open an account, verify, make inquiry on a 0% and 0 fee charges account so that you get a value of your money.
Ernest, I never knew you an authority. Is Ernest also among the prophets?
Coach, that guy is just stingy. This guy.
I agree I'm stingy. But it's sad that we are here sitting, discussing how to live or adapt with a failed system, instead of dealing with the root of the problem. Instead of holding the leaders accountable, but we claim to be resilient, rugged, dogged. Come on. Now our leader continue to plunder with our common wealth, with the connivance of their families and their associates. Man, I'm tired. I'm out. I have it up to my neck.
You see, in the letter Paul wrote to the Galatians.
You honestly talk like a fool.
Please, let's respect our differences.
No, coach. He's talking about the Galatians. What it concern us with the Galatians? Talk about the leaders of your church who gathered enough wealth for their for themselves and their families. Talk about the mega churches running most expensive schools away from the reach of their poor members. Who is like depending on them to get survivors. Talk about
It's okay, Ernest. It's okay. It's very painful. Sometimes I want to fight. But who do you fight? These leaders and public officers, they grew up among us. They passed through the same educational system like you and me. They live in the same society of corruption. But if we want a better Nigeria, we need to create the right system. And that will be the subject of a future summit. But right now, we need to survive. We need to thrive. Please, Tinam, give us 1 or 2 more tips and we'll round up.
You see, the Nigerian economy is not growing enough to accommodate the huge number of people entering the labor force yearly. I mean, we see 5,000 jobs, 5,000 government spaces in a pool of 1.5 million qualified candidates. We need to make connections. Go recommended by a respected figure. Yes, we know that the influentially high-level executives are so busy and they do not have time and very slow to responding to our messages. But do not underestimate their willingness to help. You have a strong credentials, go recommended. You want to go into business, go recommended.
That's interesting. Okay, give us maybe the last tip.
And then we should embrace self-empowerment with the belief that we can navigate through life's challenges. And we must also learn to compete. And lastly, we need to cut down on eating out. We should save up on transportation. Get a roommate if you must. Be on the good side of the law and have a list of emergency numbers on the side, just in case.
Interesting. Okay, Brother Kayode and Ernest, any further contribution?
Yes, for me, I have a very, very important contribution, Coach. I want my fellow Nigerians to know they need to free themselves from the love of money. Yes, and be contented with what they have. Because my God, my own God has promised that we will not leave nor forsake us. I believe that God's favor is far, far better than the money in the bank.
A fool has spoken.
I have been too patient with this man. Call me a fool one more time, and I will show you what.
It's
While I was
okay.
in work, why they call me the enforcer.
Brother Kayode is okay. You already understand who NS is. NS, please apologize to Kayode.
I'm sorry for the use of.
We've come to the end of today's summit. There's no doubt that the times are hard, but they will pass. In the meantime, prioritize self-care, stay positive, practice gratitude, and do not underestimate your ability to learn. Every human has unique knowledge, gifts, skills. The knowledge I don't have, you might have. The problems I can't fix, you might have the skills to help me out, and vice versa. We must collaborate and help others. And lastly, connect with your support system. Then, stay connected with the Coach Theater for updates on ways to thrive in difficult times. Thank you.